Hi everyone, this is Tracy Newman from the Navigators Tarot. Sorry, I've just washed my hair and it goes all over the place. Anyway, I can't control it, so that's just how it is. So I look a bit like a witch in the morning. Yay. Anyway, so this is a masculine reading for the week. We'll see what's going on with the masculine energies at the moment. When I talk about masculine and feminine energies, I literally am talking about energies, not the gender. We all house both energies within. And we are going through these shifts and changes on the earth plane as we go. We shift and change within, then we also have a reverberating effect on the outside world. And so as you go within and begin to change your own world, you then begin to see your own world, the outer world, begin to change, shift and change. And that is exactly what's going on a collective level for all of us at this time. So without further ado, let's get into the masculine reading. See what's going on with the masculine energies at the moment. So it would appear that the Christ energies are really starting to come through. The Christos energies are starting to come through, the divine masculine. As the masculine begins to leave the toxic world of the 3D matrix world and the patriarchal system behind, and as it all begins to crumble and fall around us, the masculines begin to shift and move. And it's literally because the masculine energies are shifting out of these toxic energies and cracking open that egg, and breaking into newer energies and a newer world for themselves. Their whole entire world around them begins to fall and crumble and fall. And that is exactly what is happening. There, and I'm getting this because the masculine is very tied into the financial structure that is in place in the world at the moment. There is this, it's interesting because it's kind of like the masculine holding onto the cliff face as it crumbles and falls, but somehow have managed to prop it up with a steel bar. That's how I'm seeing it. And that's how it looks with the financial system at the moment. But you can only hold that steel bar for so long against a mountain that is literally going to crash and fall. That literally is, these landslide of rocks are just coming down. It will eventually fall, and with it will go the patriarchal system and the 3D matrix world of toxic masculinity that has been in control of this earth plane for a millennium. So yes, interesting times we are living in. However, at the moment, the masculine, with that propping up of the mountainside with this steel bar, he is remaining blindfolded to what is really occurring, both within and without. The masculine cannot hold that steel bar forever, and eventually it will crash. The mountain will crash on top of him. He's really it's really interesting. This we've been watching this for quite some time with the financial system as it begins to change. And, we're being told by the mainstream media that everything is coming back up. Yeah, it isn't. It's not. I mean, eventually it will fall completely. There is a new financial system that will come into place, and it will be better for everybody, not the one pushed by the CBDC. Yeah, so at the moment, the masculines are trying so hard not to go through this death process, but it is occurring. And it's really interesting because I've noticed just in the last couple of days this death process happening within me, and a lot of fear coming up around that. It's really interesting. I've had near-death experiences, and never really been afraid of death at all, but this is like any fear that's coming up at all for any of us about anything. It's going to come up because it needs to be released, and it needs to pretty much we need to go through these death pangs so that we can come out into a completely different new world, pretty much within ourselves and in our outer world. But of course we must go through the death pangs, and we must go through this death process, excuse me. And for a lot of us, you know, a lot of these fears are coming up, and they need to be shifted up and out and removed. These are all old energies. As the old world is dying around us, it's also happening within, and we also need to acknowledge that, acknowledge the fears, release them, and move forward from there. The Knight of Cups. Really feeling quite burdened at the moment. There is a lot of sleepless nights for some people as these fears are coming up and to be released. But of course, this is very much needed. The Hanged Man. You know, the Hanged Man can often sometimes be about new perspectives, but in this case, it's interesting because I see with the Hanged Man here, he's hanging upside down, and there's a snake just sitting there coiled up. It's like just sitting there. It's like not ready to strike yet, but although no, he is. He's coiled up, and his tail is rattling. Yeah, so he is ready to strike. But the masculine is just sort of like not really. He's just hanging about. He's not really kind of registering, I don't think, that he is in danger. It's not the masculine himself that is in danger, it is the masculine energies that are in danger, because they literally are dying. They are going through a huge transformation, and with that transformation comes death, destruction, and it must do, you know. It must do, so that, you know, all change happens with, you know, first of all, the destruction of the old. We have the Three of Wands and the Six of Wands. So this is victory over those fears. See, in the Three of Wands, he's standing and he's just looking out, and the sea is calm. Everything about it is so calm. So, you know, I think at the moment what we're doing is just, if we just allow these energies to occur and just allow them to sort of like move us into a completely different frequency, we will have victory over any of the fears and any of the death process that is occurring at this time, and be able to move forward. So this is about taking action, of course, within, but what is happening with the masculine energies is that they are taking action to release a lot of the old fears that are coming up. Then we have the Six of Pentacles, which is also about just building up our finances independently, and I think that's really, I'm getting that gold, if you have any money at all, invest in gold. Gold is the is God's money. That's what I've always gotten about gold, that the energy of gold is God's money, and I don't know why, but that's the energy that comes from that, and that's the message that I get about that. Yeah, so, you know, think outside the box. Maybe remove yourself as much as you can from the 3D matrix world as it crumbles and falls, and look after yourself on a completely financial independent level, financial and physical level, you know. Really look after your physical health as well. I'm getting the Tower is falling. There are these other yes, there are these other options. that, you know, these alternatives to any of the 3D matrix traps that are actually entanglements that we can get into, the tower on that is falling. And yeah, so be creative in how, you know, you look at things, and creative in how you can become financially independent, and also independent on all sorts of other levels, however it suits you, however it fits for you, because the attachment to that 3D matrix world must go through the death process so that we can move forward into completely newer and more higher frequency level energies. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, well, that's it for that I have for the masculine energies. So shifting, moving, going through a death process, and moving forward away from this 3D matrix world. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys, and I shall see you anon. Bye for now.